My first assignment of significant responsibility and leadership in the church was given to me soon after I was married. At the time, I didn't realize it really was not so much intended to be a significant post in spiritual leadership, but anyway, I was appointed the leader of the Royal Ambassador program in our small church. Now, what is Royal Ambassadors? Well, for those of you who don't know, think of it as the Southern Baptist equivalent of Boy Scouts. But at my church, it was really more like a child care service. The boys kind of huddled up upstairs while their parents were in choir practice on Wednesday nights. When I first started, there was like 3, 4. On a good week, we'd have 5. But of course, I was, just 25, and I didn't realize I was merely supposed to babysit. I mean, I thought I'd been given a significant post of leadership, to help mold these young boys into young men. Well, I ordered the official Southern Baptist textbook for the program. It's entitled Campcraft. It's the perfect resource. These boys are at an age when the sap is on the rise, and this book oozes testosterone. Now, even though I was given a copy of the book when I was in RAs, I didn't just give them the book. I made them earn it. And I kind of sold them the book. I made them want it. I would read them the index at the beginning of the class. Trip planning, equipment and shelter, rope craft, tool craft, firecraft, cooking, first aid, safety and sanitation, map and compass, nature, conservation, fun and worship. It's a good book. I recommend it. If you're a grown man, this is a good book and you need to read it. Well, I made the boys aware that if they could prove to me that they had become masters of campcraft, they would be rewarded with a field trip. Well, within weeks, the room could barely hold the 20 plus, 25 plus boys that were in attendance. Problem: I was supposed to be running a child care service, not building a team. I was approached by several elders of the church, and they expressed their concern about some of the less desirable boys that had infiltrated the program being a bad influence on their good kids. I assumed they were offering to help, so I asked them if they would help. Boy, was I stupid. No, they weren't interested in helping. As the weeks passed, I would ceremoniously award the young men with the various badges and pendants and finally the book. And when everybody in the program had earned the book, I made good on my promise with a field trip. In fact, the top 2 accompanied me in a mission trip to Barbados, a tiny island in the East Caribbean. God truly, truly, richly blessed my ministry as leader of the Royal Ambassador program. Well, let's fast forward about 10 years. One of the boys, Jarek Taylor, had gone on to play football at the University of South Carolina. He had become an active leader in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes program there. He actually went on into a career of coaching and is now a successful businessman. Well, while he was still in college, I believe, it was summer, and he was invited to share his testimony in church one day. Now, I forget why I was not able to be there that day, but I did obtain a recording. What's this? Well, it's called a cassette tape. I know that many of you may not recognize this dinosaur. It was far superior to its 8-track predecessor, but by today's standards, it is a dinosaur. But that's how we did it. We would record, Well, I was in my car driving, and I listened to Jarek, and he paid tribute to the many people in church that had been a positive influence in his walk of discipleship. You see, that's the kind of mature man that Jarek had become. He didn't lecture everybody on his accomplishments and his spiritual resume. He didn't use the pulpit as a platform for self-aggrandizement. Well, I eagerly waited, for my name to be mentioned, and so I had to rewind the tape several times, thinking maybe I had missed it. And after listening to it over and over, it was clear to me that my name was never mentioned among those who Jarek paid tribute to. I was furious. After all, had any of those Sunday school teachers taken him on an international mission trip to Barbados? Nah. Surely their contributions could not hold a candle to mine. Well, my anger did subside, but my feelings were still very much hurt. And that's when God stepped in. I began thinking about some of the other boys in the program. Now, most had gone on to college and careers, and I was satisfied, or proud, you might say, that I had been given the opportunity to help them along, to help them grow up. But then my thoughts turned to one of the boys that had gone on to jail. That's when it hit me. That's when I learned a huge spiritual lesson. If I was going to take credit for Jarek's success, then I would have to accept the blame for the other young man's failure. Jarek, I love you, brother. Today I rejoice that you forgot to mention me in that sermon. It's a great feeling when the teacher becomes the student. Jarek, you have taught me far more than I ever taught you. Well, that's what I think, and I'd be interested in your thoughts. You're welcome to leave your comments below. You can connect with me on Twitter. I am at DataGenesis. You're welcome to check out my blog. The address is above, datagenesis.wordpress.com. Today, my ministry is different with the advancements of technology, and I'm using the gifts that God has given me the best I can. And we have a place that I'd like to invite you to. It's PJNet's chat room. It's actually much more than a chat room. We show inspiring videos. This is one of them. The others are better. And we play music. We entertain. We inform. We inspire. We fellowship. We encourage. It's a place of hope. It's a place of strength. And I think you'd really enjoy it. And if you came, I'm sure you'd want to come back again and again. Check it out. Go to patriotjournalist.com. When you get there, there's a link to the live hashtag rallies. There's also a link to the schedule of the live events. I hope you'll take a moment to stop by and give us a chance to be blessed by you and disciple one another.